There have been numerous home-built sports cars racing in Tasmania, including the CFB Jaguar, various Turnham sports cars, and the Gremlin, to name just a few. The Hobson Special, built by Stuart Hobson, a school teacher from the northwest coast of Tasmania, is the home-built special that we will be looking at in this video. This wasn't Hobson's first foray into sports car building. His previous effort was grafting a mini 850cc engine into the back of a Go-Go-Mobile Dart. This feat even more impressive by the fact that Hobson had no prior engineering knowledge or mechanical experience. The car wasn't very successful, and after talking to Peter Turnbull, a successful sports car builder in Tasmania, the decision was made by Hobson to scratch build his own sports car for Division B, a class for slower, smaller capacity sports cars. Hobson constructed a basic space frame chassis with much of its design influence from a Lotus 23B that was in Turnbull's workshop at the time. The main inspiration for things like suspension geometry, camber and roll centres all came from Alan Staniforth's 1969 book High Speed, Low Cost. Unfortunately, a month or so after the car was finished, the two sports car classes were amalgamated due to reduced overall numbers. Initially, the car was built as a bare metal clubman type sports car, but 12 to 18 months after its debut, Hobson replaced the clubman type front bodywork with a full width sports car nose, which was better aerodynamically. In true scratch building style, the mould for the new nose was constructed out of chipboard, chicken wire and plaster with fiberglass laid over the top. The colour scheme also changed to wild violet with green splashed over the top. Incredibly, Hobson managed to win the 1976 Tasmanian Sports Car Championship against cars with 3 times the engine capacity. Hobson even held the under 1300 sports car lap record at Symmons Plains from 1976 to 1982 with a 1 minute and 7 second lap time. At the end of 1980, the car was sold to Chris Ellis and painted dark green before being sold as a rolling chassis to Craig Trenham in 1989, who sold it in the mid-90s only to buy it back around 2007, by which time the car had been painted in its current two-tone green colour scheme. When Hobson ran the car, it featured a 1275cc engine with Scott Tune racing head with big valves, heavy-duty valve springs, Wade racing camshaft, high compression pistons, light and flywheel, close ratio gearbox and a 45mm Weber carburettor. Currently, the Hobson is powered by a modified BMC A-Series 1275cc engine with a Lynx Austin Healey Sprite inlet manifold mated to a 45mm Weber carburettor. Brakes are Mini Cooper S discs at the front and Cooper S drums at the rear. The steering rack is from a Triumph Herald, as are the front uprights. The large front-mounted radiator is from an MGB. Wheels are 10-inch diameter Moya wheels, 6 inches wide at the front and 7 inches wide at the back. Craig's son Brad still runs the car at the Baskerville Historic meeting. Much of the info and pictures for this video came from this edition of the Mini Experience magazine. Many thanks to Bruce Smart, who supplies many of the photos for these videos. All of his pictures are available to view and purchase at oldmotorsportphotos.com.au. Also, big thanks to my Patreon members who help make these videos possible. There's a link in the description if you'd like to join.